So in this video, I will be giving you 5 different tips to improve the quality of your low-light videos with your G7X Mark II. So the first tip I have for you is to set the aperture of your G7X Mark II to f1.8. So what does that mean? So the aperture of a camera determines how much light you're letting into the sensor. So the lower the number, which is the f-stop, will help you get as much light as you can, especially in this situation wherein you're trying to shoot night videos. So set the aperture at f1.8 and we'll go from there. Tip number 2 is to use a neutral profile or a flatter profile than whatever you're using right now. So what do I mean by that? The G7X Mark II has different color profiles. So I suggest just go inside your menu, just click on neutral profile. So the first thing you're going to do is to dial down the contrast all the way down to -4. So the next setting we're going to touch is the sharpness. You're going to put that all the way down to 0 because digital sharpness is not good, especially situations like this wherein you're shooting at night. You don't want that digital sharpness, or else the grain in your image will be amplified and it will be so visible that it will just end up being such a noisy image. So tip number 3 is to use a lower frame rate, which on the G7X Mark II's case is to use 24 frames per second. I know that all of us like to do slow motion, like shoot 60 FPS, but for nighttime, because 60 FPS will force you to use 120 shutter, which means you're not getting as much light as you should. So when shooting at night, I just suggest you to just use 24 FPS instead of 60. And if you're that worried about camera shake, just use the G7X Mark II's in-body stabilization or use a gimbal. A gimbal is a good way to stabilize footage while using 24 FPS. So tip number 4 is to find yourself a light source. I don't mean like bringing a physical light with you or maybe a softbox. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like using whatever lights that are around you, like maybe in this instance, I'm just using a street light to light up my face. At the same time, some lights over here are just making me pop out of the background and not disappear into the darkness. So tip number 4 is to find yourself a light source. It can even be your mobile phone's flashlight. And last but not the least is tip number 5, which is to increase your ISO. So I saved this tip for the last part because I don't want you guys to just increase your ISO just to get a brighter image. There are a lot better ways to improve the quality of your low light videos rather than just increasing the ISO of your camera. Because as we all know, the higher we go on that ISO, the more noise we introduce into the image. So we don't want that, especially for the G7X Mark II sensor. Since it's already so small, we don't want any more noise to be introduced into our image. So there you have it, 5 different tips or ways to improve the quality of your low-light videos with your G7X Mark II. So if you've received value out of this video, I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and tell me what kind of videos you want me to shoot for you guys in the future. If it's like G7X Mark II videos or gear-related videos. So in that way, you'll be updated as to what videos are coming up next. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. And see you guys next time.